Hi team, here are the grades 10 through 12 slides. So we're going to start very similarly to our freshmen, but this time we're going to be talking about what makes a good resume. So here I've linked two different resumes and you can share these with the students. And they're actually named good and bad examples, so we can rename them if we want, um, or you can just display them on your screen. And just have the students notice the differences and which person they would hire. And then we just want to do a little review about work experience and why this section is super important. Um, and just a little commercial here for action verbs, because that's something that we want them to pay attention to today as they are doing a peer review of a friend or a colleague's resume, and then they're also going back and revising theirs for the final draft. So just talking a little bit about action verbs, show them an example of one job entry without action verbs versus one with action verbs, and just really hammer home action verbs, so very important. And then today, they are going to do a peer review. So they're going to decide who they want to share their resume with, um, and they're going to share back with the same person. So two people or even three people can connect up and they're going to share each other's resume. So you're going to want to give them some time to do that because that's going to take a minute. So that's why this gets its own little slide. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tell the students to insert comments. And so there is a resume example right here with comments in it. And I would suggest showing this as an example simply because it shows that there's like little tiny spelling errors that need to be changed. But all of those errors really matter. So that's why you're sharing this with a friend, because that extra I will make all the difference in the world. You always share anything that is going to be a final draft or presented to people with someone else to catch errors. There are jobs called editors, copy editors, proofreaders for that purpose. When we look at something too long, we miss things, okay? Um, so then they are going to pretend that they're an employer and they're looking at their friend's resume. And I link again this little action verbs document. I'd suggest sharing it with them. And they can make suggestions of how to improve the action verbs in that resume. When they're done peer reviewing, they're just going to move right into updating their own resume, making any corrections to it, and then putting their resume in the folder. Here is the checklist of how we're going to grade the resume. You can look this over and share it with the students. So I would probably have this posted on the screen so that students can see it while we are doing the peer review. And then we can be around to look in anybody's if they want some additional help or suggestions and just sort of monitor. I would probably be looking at different resumes in the folder and making sure that comments are happening. And if I notice that no one is working on GoGuardian, I might make some private suggestions to them. And then, make sure they share their resume. All right. So for OnBase, it is a catch-up day. The students do have exposure block, the 10th through 12th graders do. And I've highlighted in the weekly plans here what we're talking about. This won't show up in the individual tabs just yet because this is 2 weeks out. But I just want to show you that week 11:30, grades 10 through 12, they're going to be taking the little worksheet and data quiz. And 11th grade will be doing the units, that same unit, the lessons 2 through 6. That's the same thing that seniors did today. Today is 11/19. You might not know that when you're watching the video. And then for freshmen, they're going to do their little skills lesson 6, and we can walk through that with them to support them through that lesson. So that is really the overview and plan of our 10th through 12th grade on the week of 11:30. All right, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.